Don't scroll, because this message might be meant for you. Somewhere in this world, there's a man who loves you more than you realize. He watches you quietly. He listens to the way you talk, the way you laugh, even the way you stay silent when something hurts you. And every time he sees you, his heart whispers the same thing. She's the one. But there's something complicated about this story, because the man who loves you so deeply is not completely free. There is another woman in his life. Yes, another woman. And that is the secret that makes his love for you both beautiful and painful at the same time. You see, love doesn't always arrive at the perfect moment. Sometimes it comes when life is already messy. Sometimes it comes when hearts are already tied to promises, responsibilities, or people they once thought they would never leave. And that is exactly what happened to him. Before he met you, his life was already moving in a direction he never questioned. There was someone beside him, someone who had been part of his life for a long time, someone who trusted him, believed in him, and built dreams with him. And for a long time, he thought that was enough. He thought that was love. But then one day, he met you, and suddenly everything inside him changed. It wasn't something he planned. It wasn't something he wanted to feel. But when your eyes met his for the first time, something in his soul recognized you, like two stories that were always meant to cross paths. After that moment, nothing felt the same. He started noticing the smallest things about you, the way you care about people, the kindness in your voice, the strength you show even when life isn't easy. And slowly, quietly, his heart started choosing you. But every time his heart moved closer to you, his mind reminded him of the truth. There is another woman, and that truth weighs on him every single day, because the last thing he ever wanted was to hurt anyone, not you, and not the woman who has been standing beside him for so long. So he stays silent. He hides his feelings. He pretends that nothing is happening inside his heart. But love is strange. The more he tries to ignore it, the stronger it becomes. There are nights when he lies awake, staring at the ceiling, asking himself the same question over and over again. Why did I meet her now? Why now, when his life was already built around someone else? Why now, when loving you could change everything? And yet, despite all the confusion, one truth remains inside him. He loves you more deeply than he ever expected, more honestly than he has ever loved before. But love alone doesn't make decisions easy, because real life is not like movies. There are consequences. There are promises. There are hearts that can break. And he knows that whatever choice he makes, someone will feel pain. So sometimes he keeps his distance from you, not because he doesn't care, but because he cares too much. He is afraid that if he gets too close, he won't be able to walk away. And if that happens, everything in his world could change. But there is also something he hopes you understand, even if he never says it out loud. You didn't steal his heart. You didn't do anything wrong. Love simply found its way to him through you. And sometimes the heart chooses before the mind can stop it. Maybe one day he will find the courage to be honest with himself. Maybe one day he will choose the path that truly feels right. Or maybe this love will remain a quiet story that only the two of you can feel. A love that exists in glances, in silence, in moments that nobody else notices. But one thing is certain. If you ever wondered whether this man feels something real for you, the answer is yes, he does. He loves you more than you know. But right now, he is standing at a crossroads between the life he already has and the love he never expected to find. And the hardest part of all is knowing that sometimes the deepest love stories are also the most complicated ones. And maybe, right now, you are wondering something. If he really loves you, why hasn't he chosen you yet? Why does he keep you so close, but still not fully in his life? The truth is, decisions like this are not easy. When a man has already built a life with someone, there are memories, responsibilities, and promises tied to that life. Walking away from it is not just about leaving a person. It means changing everything. His routine, his home, his future plans, even the way people around him see him. And that kind of change takes courage. Sometimes more courage than a person has in the moment. So instead of choosing, he stays in between, half of his heart living in the life he already knows, and the other half quietly belonging to you. But staying in the middle can't last forever, because love always asks for honesty. Sooner or later, the silence becomes too heavy, the distance becomes too painful, and the questions become impossible to ignore. There will come a moment when he has to face himself, a moment when he asks the hardest question of all. Am I living the life that truly makes me happy? If the answer leads him to you, then one day he will come with honesty, not with secrets, not with confusion, but with clear intentions. And if that day comes, you will know that he didn't choose you out of impulse. He chose you because he was ready to build something real, ready to stand beside you without fear, ready to love you openly, not secretly. But until that moment happens, there is something important you must remember. Do not pause your life waiting for someone else's decision. Your happiness should never be placed on hold. You deserve a love that is clear, a love that stands proudly beside you, a love that doesn't make you question your worth, because the right person will never make you feel like an option. They will make you feel like the choice. So if this man truly loves you, he will eventually show it through action, not just words, not just emotions, but real brave decisions. Until then, protect your heart, respect your value, and remember that your story doesn't depend on anyone else's courage, because the love you deserve will never ask you to wait in the shadows. And sometimes the hardest part of loving someone like this is the waiting for clarity, waiting for honesty, waiting for a moment that may change everything. Days pass, conversations happen, and yet some questions remain unanswered. You might notice the way he looks at you sometimes. There's a softness in his eyes, a quiet emotion he doesn't always say out loud. It's the look of someone who cares deeply, but carries a heavy conflict inside. Because every time he gets closer to you, his reality reminds him of the life he already has, and that reality pulls him back. So the connection between you becomes something delicate, a space filled with feelings, but also silence, moments where everything feels perfect, and other moments where everything feels confusing. But here is something very important. Love is not only about feelings. Love is also about timing, choices, and responsibility. Two people can care about each other deeply and still find themselves in a situation that isn't simple. That doesn't mean the feelings are fake. Sometimes it just means life arrived in the wrong order. Maybe in another time, in another chapter of life, the story would have been easier. But life doesn't always follow perfect timing. And that is why situations like this test the strength of everyone involved. For him, it is the test of courage. For you, it is the test of self-respect. Because loving someone should never make you forget your own worth. You should never feel like you have to compete for a place in someone's heart. The right love will make space for you naturally, without secrecy, without confusion, without feeling like you are standing in the background of someone else's life. And deep inside, he knows this too. He knows that if he truly wants you in his life, he cannot keep things the way they are forever. One day he will have to speak the truth. One day he will have to make a choice, not just for you, but for himself, because living between two worlds eventually becomes exhausting. The heart cannot stay divided forever. Sooner or later, clarity arrives, and when that moment comes, everything will change. Either he will step forward with honesty and courage, or he will step away so both of you can move forward in different directions. But no matter what happens, remember this: you are not someone's second option. You are not someone's hidden chapter. You are a whole story. A story that deserves to be loved completely, openly and proudly. And the person who truly belongs in your life will never be afraid to show the world that they chose you.